We're located halfway between Death Valley and Las Vegas, halfway between Joshua Tree and Area 51, in the Mojave Desert of the Southwest United States. And there's the sunrise.
Today is Sunday, October 18th, 2020. I'm Reverend David Griffin.
I'm Reverend Leslie McQuaid.
And this is the Lost Magic of Jesus Revival. The ancient magic ritual you're about to experience comes from a document rediscovered beneath the sands of Egypt in 1769, containing two lost books of the Bible, the first and second books of Yahweh, that in turn contain the secret teachings of Jesus to his disciples. This morning, from the first book of Yahweh, we'll be performing the 21st Treasury of Light. This is an Alpha Omega adaptation. We have carefully reconstructed and revived the essence of the ritual and adapted it for our own performance.
We have tried to remain as close as possible to what limited records we have of how ritual was done at that time.
Right. Basically, what the Bruce Codex and the books of Yahweh are a sort of grimoire. Now, grimoires were never written with step 1, step 2, step 3, anything like that. Grimoires are sort of like a grammar for magicians. It gives you the essence of the ritual, the hierarchies, the instructions, these sort of things.
It's the appendix without the instructional material in front of it.
Exactly. So, you know, as experienced magicians, we've been able to reconstruct our best guess of what the original ritual was like based around the names and the structures that were given to us in the books of Yahweh. So this is a process of archaeological reconstruction. It was much the vogue in the last century.
Yes.
With the neo-shamanic community, the neo-pagan community.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're bringing back ancient Christianity. We're reconstructing and reviving the way things were in the very beginning. Or close to it, as close to it as we can get.
Right. And up to about 300 AD.
That's right. Magic was practiced within Christianity for nearly 3 centuries before it was diabolized and became Ooga Booga.
Right, and that was the action of the Roman Church.
Right, as soon as it became the imperial religion.
Yes. The sun has completed its rising.
Right.
The sun is the dispenser of light to the earth. May the living light of the God Force inflame our souls with abundant life.
Our destiny lies amongst the stars, and to the stars humanity shall ascend.
Take a nice deep breath and feel into your body. Breathe deeply. Feel that deep breath as it moves into you, moves through you, causes physical sensations and cascades of motion throughout your entire body. And as you are breathing deeply and feeling deeply into each and every part of yourself, visualize yourself as the tree of life, however it is you imagine that tree to be, and grow your branches up high into alpha sky. Drive your roots down deep into omega earth. I call on you in the east, Alpha. I call on you in the west, Omega. I call on you in the north, Alpha. I call on you in the south, Omega.
Alpha,
Et Omega.
the beginning,
And the end.
and the path of the age between. Sunrise,
And sunset.
and the path of the sun between. Birth,
And death.
and the path of life between. Alpha,
Omega.
Welcome back to Column Hinge, where once again we congregate in this most unusual church, congregating from all around the world and all across the day as we restream this ritual every hour on the hour. Yesterday we were a little bit busy, we got a little behind. Usually we begin around 10 a.m. Yesterday we got started really late, but we do still stream every hour on the hour. So, reaching out with the energy of our energetic bodies, we reconnect with the invisible God force, life force energy all around us. And reconnecting with this divine life energy, we call upon the angels in the invisible, watchers of the 21st treasury of light. Attend. Ozaz. Ozaz. Elwais. Elwais. Azaies. Azaies. Let the watchers withdraw, and let us enter in to the 21st treasury of light. And there are 12 heads in my Father's treasury, and these are the names that are in the places when they sing praises to my Father, and He gives light power to them. Mighty angel, head in the place of the east. Zo zo ze'ai. Zo zo ze'ai. Zo ho zai. Zo ho zai. Do za zak sai. Do za zak sai. Nao za e iai. Nao za e iai. Marazaz. Marazaz. Ozaes. Ozaes. Ozea, yeah. Ozea, yeah. Oza, Uza. Uza, Uza. Osho, Zoza. Osho, Zoza. Azaios. Azaios. Naye Ozaze. Naye Ozaze. Nazaz. Nazaz. And so we completed our journey through the places, invoking each of the 12 mighty angels, head each in its proper place, until at length we came into the place of the midst, the place of the center, the place of the Father of the treasury of light. O Father of the 21st treasury of light, by your cipher and by your name we invoke you. Oazi Ai. Oazi Ai. Let the divine light descend. It is the intention of this ritual and our fervent prayer, as it is every single day, to establish human liberty worldwide.
Human liberty worldwide!
Protect Homo sapiens from extinction.
Protect Homo sapiens from extinction.
Protect the integrity of our genetic code.
Protect the integrity of Homo sapiens' genetic code.
And grant us a pro-human future.
Grant us a pro-human future.
Restore the purity of our air.
Restore the purity of our air.
Of our water.
Restore the purity of our water.
Of our food.
Restore the purity of our food.
And our medicines.
Restore the purity of our medicines.
May all who search for the abundant life promised by the living Jesus come to discover the truth about what our energetic soul really is and how to feed it on the living light all around us. This is the abundant life the Master Jesus spoke of. And then, when each of us inevitably meet that moment of death, may we shed this physical body like a serpent sheds its skin and rise in our glorified body of light directly into the kingdom of heaven, following the way opened for us by the living Jesus upon his ascension. All these things we ask in the name of the living Jesus, called Christ by the Romans, called Master Abaramento by his disciples. Amen.
Amen. So mote it be. Take a moment now to again feel into your body. This ancient magical rite we're doing together helps you experience more God Force energy in your body. As you have more God Force energy, so you are moving in concert with the universe. There's a very old English saying, and it goes, "A stitch in time saves 9." And what that means is very similar to strike when the iron is hot. One comes from the female side of the work world, the other comes from the male side, but they both speak to the same intention, and that is, things occur best when they occur in their time. In sewing, if you keep a rhythm, even if it is a slow rhythm, you will sew more quickly than if you sew with an erratic pattern. And the same is true with metalsmithing. If you strike that metal when it is hot, you can bend and form it. But if you wait and let time pass and allow the metal to become cold, when your hammer strikes the metal on the anvil, it will shatter into a million pieces. Doing things in their time. There's even a psalm about that. There's a time to sow and a time to reap. All these things are easy for you to understand when you breathe in God Force, because God Force energy gives us that internal sense of timing, that way of knowing when, that way of knowing when. When is the best time to leave the house? When is it time to go pull the trigger on that purchase you've been waiting on? When is it time to go harvest? And when is it time to tell someone that important and exciting news? We all wait for the perfect time to do things because we all have an innate understanding of the internal mechanisms of the universe. The universe rolls on its own rhythm. Some of these rhythms are easy. We see the rhythm of sunrise and sunset. We see the rhythm of moonrise and moonset. We see the rhythm of the waxing and waning of the moon. We see the waxing and waning of the sun as the seasons change. And as our world slides slowly through the spiral arm of this distant galaxy, we experience an even longer procession, one that is over 25,000 years old. So many of the patterns we experience here on Earth have been experienced over and over again, and yet each time it is new, because each time a new perspective is seen. That is the amazing brilliance and glory of God Force energy. God Force energy is a diamond of infinite facets, each one sparkling and reflecting an important aspect of the unlimited nature of deity, of God Force energy. As you make the conscious decision to breathe in God Force energy, so you make the conscious decision to connect yourself to the unspoken and eternal mechanisms and patterns and rhythms of the world, of the universe, and of God. And you will find that when you move in concert with God Force energy, when you are in concert with the motion of the birds and the wind around you, then you will find that the life you live becomes much easier. It is easy to walk with the wind and difficult to walk against it. It is easy to flow with the stream and difficult to paddle upstream against it. When there are times you should paddle upstream and fight against your internal nature, you will know the difference. It is easy to discern patterns and repetitions once you are steeped in and filled with the God Force.
Brothers and sisters, it's with a heavy heart that I come to you this day on Sunday, on this beautiful Sunday morning, with good news and bad news. The bad news is it's 5 minutes till midnight. The hour is very late. The good news is America has awakened. We're awake. We woke up at the very last second as we felt the pillow coming over our faces to strangle us. We're still alive, but we're in deep trouble. We're fighting now. We're struggling to get the strangler off the top of us and get the pillow away from our faces so that the American Republic cannot be strangled. It's very late. It's at the very last second, but we're fighting. The American people is waking up and we're fighting back. We're fighting to keep our republic. If you haven't noticed it yet, the bad news is Our federal police organs have been completely corrupted. The FBI is worse than useless momentarily. We saw that very clearly with the Mueller investigation. The CIA is completely corrupted, and the media has been completely co-opted by the CIA with Operation Mockingbird. We have a shadow government, folks, that has usurped our republic many years ago. We are seeing it now. That is the blessing of God, that we can see what is happening. We see that something is wrong with our media. It's obvious over the last 4 years. We see that something is wrong with our FBI. That's obvious too. The worst scandal in political history 4 years ago has been covered up almost completely. And now we're in the middle of election. And it turns out that a laptop belonging to the son of one of the candidates was just abandoned in a computer repair shop. And that computer repairman, seeing with horror what was on it, gave it to the FBI. The FBI did, of course, nothing. What do you expect? And then he gave it also to the media. The New York Post published a story, broke the story of incredible evidence on that laptop of corruption. In fact, the son of one of the major candidates, hopelessly compromised by communist China, both with payoffs and with photos and films of him doing unspeakable things. I'm really sorry that we have to go through this awakening like this at the last minute and seeing what is happening around us. But we see even more the power of this shadow government, because even though this was published by the New York Post, a major American newspaper, it was completely censored by Facebook and Twitter. Folks, this shows you the shadow government is not only in control of the major media networks on television and radio, NPR is hopelessly compromised, but also now social media is completely in their hands. They're just waiting until after this election, folks. We are just one election away from the police state crackdown. Our freedom of speech would be gone. Our Second Amendment would be gone. We are that close to living in the American version of communist China. Speaking of China, we've also awakened to the fact that our country has nearly been taken over by China. They were taking away all of our jobs, all of our industries. Everything was being sent to them, and to take what was left of America into a vassal state, following the model of communist China. So when you go to vote today or in the next couple of weeks, vote like your life depends on it, because literally it does. If you'd like to know more about this ritual, be sure and visit us at alphaomega.church. While you're there, you can download our free ebook, Was Jesus Secretly a Magician? And you can also leave a donation if you feel so inclined. This is how we pass around the plate, folks. We will continue to be here for you nonetheless every single day at sunrise. Thank you again for coming out on this beautiful sunrise. We will see you again tomorrow. And remember, as the living Jesus always said, have faith. And as the master of Baramento said to his disciples, and expect a miracle.
And until we have the pleasure of each other's company again, may the God force run strong within you. And, as always, may your magics work better than expected.